How's it going, everyone? I want to do a review on Bitcoin. Should have done this yesterday because obviously we got XBC running at 800%, BTCD running at 300 plus. Looks like I'm waiting for Unity to pop. So kind of crazy out there. So what I'm going to do is do a percent change review, and I'm going to take the volume from everything above 500 and see how we can muster up so the next buys out there. What I'm doing is on this chart, this is TradeView, tradingview.com. It's free. You can buy a subscription if you want. What I have is moving averages 8, 13, and 34. My 8 and 13 are the T3s, which is Tim Tilson's exponential moving averages, basically smoothed over 6 times exponential moving averages, creating a better signal. And then I have the SMA 34 as my center line. My center line is important, and I always look for movements across the center line and down into the center line. I always look for crosses down and then back into, which I call across the 34 into support the bullish retracement, and when it crosses down, I call it the bearish retracement when it goes back into resistance. Right now, I'm looking at this Omni coin. I got a hammer here. This is a weekly chart. I like to look at the long-term charts to know where I'm at, and then I like to narrow down and see where I'm at on the purchase. So, all in all, I look for previous high breaks. I watch for candles. I look for reversal bars, candles, and 3 lines on a chart. Basically, all I am doing, make it simple, sweet, and I've done this for about 20 years. So, I also have another channel, Precious Metals Prices. You can find me there, and I'm doing the same thing, but on equities. So, let's get started. Let's do percent change. Let's take a look at these things. This is my Poloniex, and this is tradingview.com. And I find this easier. I don't like the charts on Poloniex. There's not too much you can do with them. I like TradingView because for one, it's free. 2, it's pretty accurate, and I had a lot more time frames to look at. And it's got my indicators that I want to use. I got volume, 8, 13, and 34, and candles. That's it. Okay. And then I have a moving average on my volume to look for volume breakouts. My volume indicator is an EMA 13. So it's like a 2-week indicator. So I'm looking for 2-week breakouts on volume. Volume cures everything. And there's Unity. Let's watch Unity. Where is she? Oh, isn't it? There we go. Unity's off and running. Yep. Previous high break on the 15-minute chart. Let's narrow down. Previous high breaks coming at 001. I got the daily chart. I already did a pop this morning, came back into support already. And the weekly chart. This is what I'm basing my purchases off of. I'm looking for long-term trends, long-term breakouts, long-term pattern breaks, and looks like we got a pattern break on the long-term trend line. And the volume, of course, the volume. Nice. I loaded this. I've been buying this all morning. Let's see if we can get a nice little pop out of this. I got previous highs here. I should sell into resistance. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing the way these things are moving. All right. I gotta keep my eye on that while I'm doing this. Absolutely crazy. All right, XBC. Oh, I gotta get my bearings here. XBC, where are you? Dang. XBC. All right, this thing's up. This is absolutely crazy what's going on here. I've already shaved off 2 purchases on this. You can see it's just an absolute monstrous breakout. I got a flat top break. I was in it at the bottom. Absolutely. I shaved it off when it was 100%, and then it went to 800. And then it went down into 600% down or something like that. And then it moved all the way back up to 800%, and I shaved some more off. So I made a couple doubles on it today. And I know some people that made quite a bit more than that. But I'm pretty modest. I plan on owning all of these things, and my strategy, if you shall know, is to buy the breaks with a core value of, say, half a Bitcoin or something. Not even that much. My account's not that high. Maybe like a couple $100. I mean, we're talking about pennies here, so a couple $100 on a penny. Pretty large amount of purchasing power. I'll take the $200, I'll make a run, and I'll take my core out. So I got the $200 back out, and I'll let the free shares ride. So I did that twice today on this one. And just absolutely scary what's going on here. So what are we going to do? We're going to look for a top. So previous highs is our support. If it breaks below previous highs, I'm selling and shaving off a little bit more, let it come down into support. My support is the 8 coming on up. You can see the price is extended past the 8, and the 8 is its natural course of return. The 8 is basically previous highs, previous lows, support lines. It'll follow that all the way up. Right now I need to hold previous highs, 0.003. 0.033, excuse me. Let's go to the next one. BTCD, which is Bitcoin Dark. I don't own any of this, but let's start with a weekly chart. Looks like we got a pop, right? We got a previous high break. Boom. Just to look for the long-term pattern break, we got a double top break, right? Previous high breaks, boom, take a ride. So from the hour, we go down, narrow down. Not much to see as it's way overextended. So what we need to do is look at the, let's start with the hourly, see if we can find a top. Looks like it's already came down into support once. Looks like we're going to have a break, previous highs again. Actually, I'm looking at this as a lower high. Oh my God, come on. So I got a lower high so far. I got my lows here on an upward valley and a downward trend, upward trend, downward trend. Now we're in a pattern. Watch the pattern come back and forth inside the pattern and then buy the break. This thing already took off. It's going to have to rest unless volume comes in, scarily enough, just like XBC did. Watch previous high breaks. But right now, I got a lower high. All right? And we got 21 minutes left on this one. Unity's still above 100, down 10% since the last time we saw it. I got to keep my eye on that so I can shave off my profits. 100%er. These things are moving. Absolutely crazy. All right, so 4-hour chart, we got a lower high and we got higher lows. So now we're in a pattern. It can break, but watch volume. Usually when it hits previous highs, it'll come back and forth inside the pattern. Let's see, 15-minute chart, hit a high, coming back in. I got support at 1.017, 0.018. So it already came down into support and bounced. That's good. Watch this to break previous highs, 0.021. Watch it take another attempt at the high. Or watch previous lows break down as it comes back into support. I got support. These lines are my support and resistance lines. Support on the way down is previous highs. Resistance on the way up are previous lows. That's how I do it. Got a nice hammer down here. Just a real nice hammer. These charts, these candles on these altcoins are absolutely amazing. All right, so I'm making a new high on Unity. I got to keep an eye on this. Got to keep an eye on it. Got to shave off my profits. Where are we at Unity? Let's move on over. So, hope we're clear on BTCD. Watch for previous high breaks. We have a lower high put in. We came off of previous highs. If it breaks into the next range, we'll come down into support. And the trick is to buy into support, sell into resistance. Looks like it's coming on its lows. Keep an eye, keep an eye. Let's see. Previous high breaks. I'm watching previous high breaks. If this makes a double top, I am going to sell off. And luckily enough, we got a lower high on the 5 minutes so far. So it looks like it's churning over. I'll see how this next 5 minutes works out. But here's the long-term chart. Let's start with the weekly. See where we're at. Unity had a long-term trend line break this morning. I've owned it since it was before the off this double bottom. So today I've actually increased my leverage on it, but not too much, not too much. Let's see, let's move it on up to the daily. Not much to see here. I got the previous downward trend line at support coming in 0.0056, and then let's look at the hourly. Had a nice push this morning. I missed the shave. I didn't sell off on my initial pop, but I did increase my position on the way in when it came into support. Right now we're above previous highs. No, we're at previous highs. We need to get above the highs here on this candle, and the highs here on this candle have a nice breakout. Watch volume. I have a volume breakout so far on the hourly. Let's look at the 15-minute chart. Looks like it's being rejected so far. We got a double top coming in. I'm watching that 5-minute chart. Looks like I need to sell off a little bit. So bear with me, I'll be right back. Well, I missed most of, I should have sold it quicker. I missed it. I did shave off a little bit, but not a lot at all. So I'll keep it going. The thing is about this chart is I want to sell my profits, but we got a long-term trend line break. All right, so what was resistance is now support on the long-term trend. So it's coming back into support now. I shaved off a little bit. I'm going to have to just ride it out. I can still sell now and get 100%, but I'll just have to keep it running. I missed the top. It wasn't fast enough. All right, so SBD. Let's move it on up. Oh, no, SBD. Sorry about that. I'm doing this while I'm at work. So looking at the long-term chart on SBD, Steam dollars, I got a previous high break. This thing already took off. You can see how fascinating these things are. Absolutely unbelievable. And it creeped up at 100% already. Absolutely crazy, these things. I don't even know what to think. I can't even keep up. So I own this too. Let's see, where are we at? Okay, 15-minute chart. It came busting out. 15-minute chart all night. Here we go, second run. We're breaking into previous lows. Let's see if we get rejected here or keep on going. That's a nice inverted hammer. Let's take out that hammer on the upside. And absolutely amazing. Everything is going gangbusters. Wow. All right, so keep it in perspective. Watch the previous high breaks. Watch them run. Watch them come back into support. Sell into resistance. Buy into support. Let's look at the daily. SBD. Absolutely amazing. Cannot keep up. Cannot. I got too much going on. I can't sit here and watch this all day. But 700%, 250%, 100%, 100%. Absolutely crazy. Pretty soon today, all of them are going to be over 100%. That's what it feels like. I have no idea what's going on. And I know nothing about these Bitcoins, so don't get mad at me if I'm buying crap and you disagree with me. I'm just buying charts. I read charts. That's what I do. I don't care what they do. If I see a breakout, I'm going in. So here we have SBD weekly. Let's see what's going on in the 15-minute chart. Yeah, let's move it on up. C2, let's see what's going on with C2. C2, let's start with the weekly chart. All right, so set your alerts. We got a previous high break coming in at 0.0003734 or 0.35 or 3 zeros 4. Let's just call it even right there. I got tops here. I got a top here. I'm looking for a previous high break there. I'm looking for a substantial amount of time above that spot, coming back into support. Support has to hold. If support doesn't hold, then you made a mistake. Got to get out. Let's keep it going. So previous high breaks, again, 0.00004. Let's just call it even number 4. Let's jump into QTL. What happened? Am I staring at it? Do I even have QTL? I don't have QTL on here. Huh. All right then. There she is. QTL, I got previous high breaks coming. Another one breaking out. Absolutely gangbusters. So C2, QTL I don't own. I'm going to have to watch these on previous high breaks. There we go. Let's keep it moving. QB. Okay. Oh my God. Look at these weekly charts. Previous high break coming. Already broke out once. Came back into support already. Watch for another break across previous highs. This nice flat top right here. 0.0003435. Another one. Looks like it wants to break out. Jeez. Let's keep it going. Omni. I was looking at this one earlier. See how it's doing now. All right, weekly chart on Omni. I got a downward trend line on the weekly chart. I got a bottom and a nice little reversal bar here, hammer, coming across the 8, 13 into resistance, came back into support. Now it's got that 1-2 punch coming. Look for a previous high break on the previous highs at, let's call it 005. Watch the 005 break. Jump on in, take a ride. You got a long-term trend line breaking. You got a bottom pattern forming. Take a ride. Absolutely crazy. Oops. Let's go to bits. Long-term chart again, weekly chart. Not so excited about this, but still, look for previous high breaks, 00015. I got previous highs here, previous highs here, previous highs, all the way through. Look for a previous high break at 1.5. That's a weekly chart. Let's keep it moving. VRC. VRC, look at that bottom coming in on the weekly chart. Long-term charts are key. We got a previous high break so far. Came into resistance. Watch it come back into support. If support holds, it'll build, 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 and pop. Okay, it needs to break into previous lows. So far, it's being rejected into previous lows. Once it gets above previous lows, watch the pop across the 34 back into support. Support holds, take a ride. Buying into support is your best bet, because if support doesn't hold, it'll fall over, and you know you made a mistake if support doesn't hold. So that's VRC. Let's look at NAUT. Where are you? Sorry I have to do it this way, but the Polinix charts really suck. Look for a flat top break, previous highs, right over the 34, coming back into support. Watch the previous high break coming back into support. And then once it holds support, you know you're in for a long term. I've been in this for a while, obviously, from the bottom. Gonna take a ride. I'm in it for the long, because I think this is a one double bottom, plus we have a bottom over here. I can call it a triple bottom. 1, 2 higher lows, follow that 8 on the way up, previous highs, pop, pop, pop. It's simply amazing the way these things are moving. Do not know what to think. GRC. Oops, wrong line. GRC. Again, weekly chart. Okay, it popped into resistance, previous highs. Lo and behold, the 34 is right, sitting right there. Previous highs, resistance. Okay, came back into support. Now the thing is about this candle, it's an inverted hammer so far. So it made a pop, came back into support. What do I say? Buy into support. If support doesn't hold, it'll fall over. If support doesn't hold, you need to get out. But it popped, came back into support already. Let's look at this at a narrow hour chart. Let's see what's going. See if we can see the churn. Even on the hourly chart, we have an inverted hammer. Looks like it popped, came back into support. Follow that 8 on the way up. The 8 represents my previous lows, previous highs. And that is my support line. If it breaks any substantial time across the 8, then I know momentum is dying. There's a better chart. There's a better chart. That's what I like to see, that chart right there, that daily chart right there on GRC. Broke across the 34, came back into support. I got a 2-bar pattern here. I got a previous pattern, previous high break. Boom. Another previous high break, boom. All right, so it made the boom, came back into support. So that support line did not hold. Look for support to come in. Watch on the lesser time frames. Watch that churn. Watch the previous high breaks start climbing above previous high breaks. Looks like I'm going to get into this one in and around 6 or 7. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 5, 0, 7. That's the previous highs. Get above previous highs, use that as your support. Bam. That's the 15-minute chart. All right, everything's getting a little confusing here. Let's look at Noble coming down. Little Noble. All right, 15-minute chart's not going to tell us much until we see what's going on in the longer term. Here we have Noble on the weekly chart. It's coming into this pattern. I got lower highs, I got higher lows. That's making an ascending triangle. It's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, pop. I call that the price pinch. Noble looks like a good pop is coming. Watch volume breaks. You always need volume to carry you across resistance. Trade outside that pattern. That's a good one right there. It looks like coming in. Let's look at this one, HZ. Bam, weekly chart. Look for previous high breaks on HZ. Looks like another one. Always look for volume breaks. Okay, this one doesn't have much volume at all. But when people start piling in, breaking previous highs, I would say a good purchase price would be above 4.3, above previous highs. It's coming into previous highs now, but it's got a short distance to the next previous highs. I think this would be a better buy. Previous high here, previous buy here. Boom, right across resistance. I got a double top forming on the weekly chart. Nice. Okay, let's keep going. POT, just running down the line here. Damn, look at these things. These are all ready to be pumped. Gotta get my trading goggles on. I got higher lows. I got a pattern here. Watch for those patterns. I got a downward trend line. I got an upward trend line. Those support resistance, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back, pop. Right? This ascending triangle off the bottom. Oh, that's another one. Oh my God. All right, so something to notice here. Weekly chart, Bella. All right, we've all noticed this one from the previous high breaks down below. This thing has been running like a freight train. All right, what's the probability of it keep going like a freight train forever? I got less volume coming in. I'm thinking that it's going to have a top here sometime. And looks like I already sold off on mine. But that being said, watch those shorter term charts for the breakouts as it consolidates. All right, so on this one, I think a punch, maybe a double top, come back into support, try again. It's got a lot of work to do. Watch for breaking into previous highs. Looks like it broke into previous highs once, twice, a few times. If it breaks and closes below previous highs, it'll drain down into the next range. So I got ultimate support on this top at 575. All right. So again, watch the ones that have already run for weeks on end. Where is that top? Look for those exhaustion bars. So far, it's closing above previous highs. What do I say about previous highs? It's the support. So watch anything that goes into previous highs. It's liable to fall into the next range. So there you go on that. Bella might have run its course. Needs to come down, gather its legs, try again. So let's jump the volume real quick. I got 30 minutes in. Volume, of course, ETH to start her off. ETH. Again, ETH has been running. We all know this. Previous high breaks broke, and it came back all the way into support. Right now for this week, these are weekly candles. Right now for the week, it's closing into previous highs, and it bounced so far. Again, use previous highs as your support. If it falls into previous highs, look for it to come into the next range, which is all the way down into the previous breaks. Right? Previous high breaks. All right? This is very easy to keep track of. All right? We have previous high break, boom. Came back into support once. Now it has to hold support and let it turn around and keep going if it wants. Watch volume. Looks like volume's pretty low right now for the week. Partly because everything else is running like a madman. Still up a 700%. It's absolutely freaking crazy. All right, so on the hourly, I want to make sure I'm above my trend. My trend is, my friend, my trend is that 34 SMA, the midline. All right. So far we broke down, and now we're getting rejected by resistance. Okay. Watch for previous low breaks. If you're holding it, watch for previous low breaks. Don't hold it forever. Let it come into support. But right now, whenever I see it cross the 34 back into resistance, that's the bearish retracement. The bearish retracement allows it to fall over. So there you go. Watch for previous low breaks. You're still at support. If support doesn't hold, you got to sell, sell, sell. Let's look at Dash. Dash has got some volume. All right, let's find a bottom in this one. All right, broke down pretty good. Where's the support? I don't think it's ready yet. I got why can't I erase these? All right, I got a lower high. That lower high came in on a falling star. Watch those reversal bars. I got resistance on the way up. I got resistance breaking out. If it came down, it held support, and then turned around, this would be a inverted hammer over support. But it broke previous lows and broke down, broke previous lows and broke down, came back into resistance. I don't think it's ready. We'll have to keep a watch on it. Let's look very narrow down. I got a 2-bar pattern on the 5 minute. I got higher lows coming in. But is that the bearish retracement? Watch for previous high breaks into resistance. My line's on the chart. It's coming over the midline, coming into resistance. The 8 is crossing down over the 13, so I think that momentum has died. So look for previous low breaks all the way down into the next pattern, into the next pattern break, which I got support on the next level at 0.08 basically. Dash is already down 17% today, so I'll have to keep a watch. Let's look on down. DCR, decreed. Right now I'm coming off a bottom. I got a double bottom, higher low. Right? That's a 5-minute chart. Let's start with the weekly. Oh, look at that. All right, so I made a top, it's coming back in. Hold 50%. of the candle to keep momentum. That is the key. Otherwise, we don't know what's going on with this thing. We got previous breaks down at 004, and it's gone all the way up, and now it's coming back in. Hold 50% of the candle for momentum. If momentum doesn't hold it, it's liable to come all the way back in like everything else has. All right, so let's keep going. I think this one is done for now. It needs to gather its legs, make a pattern, and then find that pattern and make a pattern break. XMR. XMR, I got a lower high. XMR, it's coming back into support. Let's find out where support holds. It didn't hold previous highs here. It needs to hold previous highs here. It's a double top. 1, 2 top here. That previous high needs to hold. See if it'll turn around there. Otherwise, it's liable to come all the way back into support somewhere. Usually previous highs. Previous high breaks. But that being said, we have a breakout, came back into support, came into support one more time, came into a lower high. Watch it come back into support, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, pop. That price, I call it the price pinch. Price is stuck between support and resistance, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, pop. So we'll have to keep a watch on this as a weekly chart. It's coming back into support now. That's XMR, and this looks at XBC. Where is it going? XBC, still just a monster. Absolutely crazy. It's near its highs. I mean, it's still gangbusters. Let's look at the lower term. Needs to get above previous highs. Right now, it is barely above previous highs. Let's see if it'll keep going. Now it's below previous highs. That's the hourly chart. Let's keep it. Let's go down narrower, narrower. Needs to hold previous highs. Looks like it bounced off of support. My 13 is the final line of support. Looks like it went through. And if it holds for 4 more minutes, XBC, if it doesn't hold support, it might come tumbling down. So I'm going to be selling out. If support does not hold, I'll have to shave off some more. XRP. Okay, so I got lower highs or higher lows, and you can see the trend coming down as resistance, making this a nice pattern between support and resistance. So it's got to bounce here off of support. Let's start off with the weekly. XRP. Looks like it hit resistance pretty hard. Watch it come back into support. It's got to hold previous highs. So far it is. If it holds previous highs, turns around on a dime, tries again, watch that flat top break. What? So it hit resistance, came down into support. Watch that little tight U. Watch the flat top break coming through the 34. Pretty nice. Got a long-term trend line coming down. I got previous lows, break into previous lows. Boom. That'd be a pretty good candidate to watch for a previous high break. BTCD. Should have bought this when I had a chance, but I'm not going to chase it. I'm going to wait for it to come back into support. So weekly chart, we had a previous high break, right? Boom. BTCD, I think it came down into support already. So now it's back and forth, back and forth. We got a lower high, nice inverted hammer. Okay, I got higher lows coming through. So we're in a pattern. Watch that pattern break. Boom. This one might just have another run today. It's amazing. ETC. These things are awesome. ETC. Looks like we're coming off of a bottom. Bottom is basing. Let's look at the weekly first. So it broke that 34. The reason why the 34 is not elongated because this is a new issue, and the 34 hasn't had any time to accumulate numbers. So I got previous highs, previous lows. I'm going to use that as my support. Lo and behold, that is where the 34 is. Previous highs, previous lows. A little balance point right there, the 34. Pop, come back into support. Looks like it's coming back into support now. Do I own this? ETC. No, I do not. So I'll wait for this to come back into support. ZEC. We had a run on this. This thing is a new issue as well. There's no moving averages so far. So I pumped, came back into support. Support's got a hold. If it doesn't support there, next previous lows, previous highs. And if it doesn't hold there, come all the way back through. So let's look on the daily. You can see the punch through resistance on the daily. Now it's coming. Looks like it's going to come down into previous highs. Watch support on previous highs. So far it's at or near support. It's got a hold here, or it's going to come back through, going into the the previous range. GNAT. Something I thought I bought during the last run, but obviously I bought something different. Thought for sure I was buying that one. Here's a daily chart. Let's start with the weekly. So don't know what's going on with the weekly. It's got to hold previous highs, and the breakout is a previous highs on the way up. Daily. Watch for previous highs. Looks like we got a falling star coming in. See what happens with that. If it's bearish or bullish. And I got a hourly chart that's showing a hammer and a little pump. So far it's at resistance. It's got to break into the next range on the way up. Let's keep going. I promised all the way to 500. LAS key. So far for the week, I'm looking at a falling star. Came through resistance. Now it's coming back, closing below previous low, previous lows. It's got to break into previous lows. That's where it got rejected. So far. Watch for volume. Watch for previous high breaks. That's a weekly chart. Let's look at the daily real quick. Watch for previous high breaks. Looks like I got an inverted hammer over support. If it breaks previous lows, breaks below the 8, then it becomes a confirmed falling star. Another reversal bar. Straight. Looks like we got a pop on this. Now it needs to come back into support. Looks like a spinning top so far for the day. For the week, previous high breaks took a pop, Watch it come back into support. And for the hourly, looks like I got a 2-bar pattern here for the first bottom. Hit into resistance so far. I got a bearish flag going into resistance right now. Watch for rejection. Watch for previous low breaks. Watch for previous highs for support. I got previous highs on the way down. Use previous highs for support on the way down. I got support at 00017. Obviously, it had a 2-bar reversal here at support. Right now, it's hitting resistance, and it's making a nice sharp U. If it can get some volume, I got diminishing volume here. 2-bar reversal into resistance. Watch volume come in. Watch for volume breaks. That will solve the problem on this. Ultimately, what we're looking at is a double top. So we got to take out that double top. Resistance above, support below. We're in a range. Rads, this one ran. I think I mentioned this one on my last video, but I can't remember. Anyways, I caught the run. Now it's coming back into support. Where's that support? Let's look at our weekly. We had a run coming back into support. Support is previous highs. Looks like it's snacked previous lows. Support has to hold. Looks like it's right at support so far, and it's down 30%, so we'll have to see where it bounces. So far it has a slight bounce. Support has to hold for the rest of the week. Let's look for a turnaround. Nope, not on the daily. Let's look for a turnaround. Now, we have a double top. Came into support, got rejected by resistance, came through. I'm looking at a bearish retracement here. Through the 34, back into resistance. Bam, bam, allowing it to fall over. So I don't think this one is... And hang on a second, I'm going to shave off some. Alright, so I shaved off half my position. I know that the weekly has support, but the hourly looks like it's a weak. So I'm thinking that it's going to carry through. It broke down through resistance, came back in, or broke down through support. I got support all around here, right? Previous breaks, previous highs. It broke down through there, and now it's in the range, came back through at resistance. So it broke down. The bearish retracement is the move back into resistance. That back move, the move back into resistance is the best short. Because I'm not watching it, I'm going to just shave it off beforehand so I don't have to keep watching it. But your best short or your best sell is back into resistance. So once it breaks down, usually probable that it will take a measured move across. So I've got 0018 at the top. The median line is 1, 2. So that's 6 points on the downside. So 1, 2, 6 points. In and around measured move. Take the height of the pattern from the median line down through. Looks like it's going to come back into the previous breaks. Let's see where that is. Yeah. Nope. Nope. Looks like the measure moves all the way back into previous breaks. So we'll see what happens. I just want to shave off so I don't lose all my profits. And the bad part about it is I can't watch these things all day. Not until I get a bunch more money, I guess. Anywho's, FCT, let's just keep moving on this bad boy. I got higher lows coming in. Look for previous high breaks. I got a flat top break right there, which is 0.0043 and above. But that being said, my resistance line is my lower highs. I've got resistance coming in, sell into resistance, buy the support, sell into resistance, let it come back in. Another thing about this is I got a whipsaw on the downside. Came through and whipped right across. So I got support, and all I need to do is get a little kick in the butt. FCT. Do I own this thing? Nope. So I'm going to watch for a previous high break. LTC. Litecoin. Alright, so pretty much narrowed down a bottom on this thing. Now it's coming back into support. I need to confirm the bottom on the previous high break into the next previous lows. My resistance on the way up is previous lows. My support on the way down is previous highs. So it looks like it's coming into support here. And looks like I'm being rejected here. How much do I own of this? Not enough to care. Since it broke down, I might want to sell it. But again, the longer term chart is my friend and is more substantial or significant. So I broke across, resistance came back into support once. I'm coming back into support one more time. It's just gathering my legs. If support does not hold on the way down, then I'm going to have to sell out because that's not the bottom. But we broke above, came back into support. Right now it's closing on its lows. I think we already looked at SBD. Nice inverted hammer. Look at that breakout. Oh my god. Oh. I think that this one is going to be an awesome one when it turns around. Watch for previous high breaks. Do I even own this? Yeah, I own a little bit. Look for previous high breaks on this one. It's so awesome. Look for previous high breaks. Oh my goodness. These things are flipping awesome. Let's look at NAV. We already did NAV. Let's look at game. Moving down the line. Alright, so game came across resistance, came back into support already. Buy into support. Let's look at the long term first. We got a long-term trend line, broke over resistance, came back into support. That's got to hold. Look for previous high breaks. Otherwise, buy into support. Watch previous high breaks. Take a ride. All right, that's the long-term chart. MAD. MAID. All right, we got a long-term trend line coming down. I got a whipsaw coming in. Fell short on its natural course of return. Whenever you see this kind of move, look for previous high breaks on the way out. I don't own this one either. Let's narrow it down. We need a turn on the daily. It needs to hold support here. And the 60-minute chart. I got higher lows. Looks like it broke down, came into resistance, and it's kind of churning over. See the 8 crossing over the 34? So I don't think this was ready. Look for previous low support. MAD, let's just a couple more, we'll call it a day. I think we pretty much covered all the movers with volume. Volume is key on these things. It doesn't seem like where it's coming from is that volume is going to carry it. So this is a nice stair step Previous high break, boom, came back into support already. Buy into support. That's the daily chart. Let's look at the long term, see what's going on. Coming off the bottom, looks like. We got to break into previous lows. Previous lows here, previous lows here, previous lows here. Lots of work to do. Let's get above previous lows. Above the 34, come back into support. If support will hold, then we know we're at a bottom. But that being said, it broke out, came into resistance, came back into support. Buy into support. It's going to start building. If support doesn't hold, you know you made a mistake. That's the beauty of buying into support. Support doesn't hold, you got to get out. Otherwise, it'll fall into the next range. And we already looked at Bella, SC. Let's look at Steam before we go. This will be the last one. Oh no, I got one more. I got to look at Burst. Burst doesn't obviously have any volume or percentage gain. But that being said, look at that. Look for previous high breaks on Burst. Right? You're right. You're right. You're right. Let's look at the long term. Again, look for previous high breaks into previous lows. Previous lows. We're stuck right here at previous lows. Watch volume come in. This might be another gangbusters. I got a previous break here, came back into support, another break, following it on the way up. Do I own this? Yeah, I own a little bit. All right, so I'm in it for the ride. How I'm playing these is I'm taking a core value, I'm buying it, and then when I reach a peak or when I feel like that's enough profit to substantiate my purchase, I'll sell my core, the initial buy, and then I'll let those free shares ride. So far, I'm doing pretty well on all of these. Sooner or later, I'll own all of them. Too bad I don't have enough time, because today would have been the best day ever. Oh my goodness. Still holding 700%. It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely. All right, so let's look at Steam. That'll be it. I want to see Steam. I guess reading the Steam blog, I think they're in debt trouble. I'm not sure what the hell's going on. So let's look at the chart. Looks like some nice volume off the bottom. This thing got cratered. Now it's coming back into support. How much do I own of this? Yeah, I need to get the hell out of this for now. Did not hold support. My support was that line across here. I need to sell out a little bit. Not everything. I'm going to let the free shares. Now for me, it's hard to figure out what my core is. Oh my god, come on. So I'm just going to sell half of them. Let's see if that other half of that order comes in. I'm going to watch for support to come in. I got support on 50% of the previous candle. So far it's held. But right now that came down into support and then got rejected on the way back up and came through. So I'm thinking that was the bearish retracement that's going to fall through. All right. With that being said, thanks for watching. It's about an hour. Let me know what you think. Share, comment, and like. I'm going to try to do these on a regular basis, but it takes a while. An hour to do the video, an hour to upload, plus I got another channel. I'll try to do one at least once a week. Once a week, weekly updates on these charts would be awesome. But that being said, we found a lot of them that are not broken out yet. So Hope it is valuable to you. If you want to pass along some Bitcoin, let me know. I'll give you my purchase Bitcoin. Anyways, see ya.